Get ready for a new episode of KP Talks Dollars and Cents. Learn financial literacy and get real-time updates on all things housing, finance, and real estate with your host, Kevin Perenio. As an owner and C-level executive for 20 plus years in finance, KP is here to serve you with all of his knowledge and experience. Whether you're a broker, realtor, or just interested in the economy, this is the podcast for you. So let's get started. Here's your host, Kevin Perenio.
Hey, it's KP coming to you live from Newport Beach, hanging out, just catching sunset here on Memorial Day. Remember, we're all here because someone passed away, gave the ultimate sacrifice, and put it all on the line for us to have these kinds of freedoms. And we absolutely cherish those, not only across this country, but of course in our great industry. We're all about the American dream. There's nothing more American dream-esque than an armed serviceman or woman giving up their life for us to have this. Okay, so we're gonna talk real quick. It's a little crazy, a little windy out here. I'm just gonna do a quick video. I'm on the road this week, going to see the friends at Havoc Insurance up in Columbus, Ohio. Fantastic group, MATIC, if you haven't heard of them. I mean, literally like the least expensive insurance you can find. I put it on 2 of my properties, and I don't do a lot of plugs here, but they're just good people. Been Maddox, been in the business a long time. Anyway, cash supply and money supply is shrinking in the industry. That's what the Fed is doing. They are shrinking money supply. We're in quantitative tightening. So we've all experienced a lack of supply in housing, and we know what that does. There's an opposite effect when you have less supply and overwhelming demand. The demand for US dollars across the world, don't think just about us and our economy and like food and energy and gas and all the little things here and there. Think about the rest of the world whose economies are not on our level. Don't mean that in a condescending way, they're just not developed. And then there's the ones that are developed that are struggling. China is in a zero COVID policy. They're locking down, they have a certain strategy attacking COVID. They refuse to take our vaccines from our great companies that have absolutely gotten us through it. And, they're causing more issues with the supply chain, and they're hurting their own economy. That's their choice, right? So the demand for US dollars across this country is enormous. Across the global economies, even greater. So that is playing and wreaking havoc on the stock market, and it is creating issues obviously with inflation and supply chains, and it's all interconnected, everything that we do. So as we watch what goes on the next couple of weeks, remember the consumer is 70% of the US economy. And even though we have maybe moderating growth in housing, moderating existing and home sales, existing and new construction sales, moderating everything, it's still growth. So are we in a recession? I don't know. Morgan Stanley has a proprietary recession model that has us at about 27% chance of being in a recession. That's 73% chance that we're not in a recession. So the odds that we're not in a recession are still pretty high. The difference between all the computer models and all the economists, which they're wrong, and consumer sentiment and belief is actually a pretty wide gap. But at the end of the day, the consumer is very strong. Strong balance sheets, strong savings. Yes, they're dipping into savings a little bit more. Yes, they're using their credit cards a little bit more. There's some cracks in there. Economy though, jobs, super strong. If you need a job and you have to go out and find one, you can find one. There are some slowdowns of growth, but that doesn't mean things are negative. It doesn't mean things are in a recessionary environment. Only time will tell, but the consumer is strong. That's good for housing. That's good for the economy. And right now, things are looking very positive generally. Sunset behind me, for those that waited through my 4 minutes of rambling, just kind of missed it. We have a big jobs report coming out this week. So that's the May jobs report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's a huge one, and we'll keep an eye on that. We'll watch what goes on. We might have just seen a bear market rally this last week. Remember, I'm not a stock advisor. I am not responsible for your profits. Your losses, only your profits. And go talk to someone who knows what the heck they're talking about and doesn't mess up their own line that they said 400 times. The stock market may have just seen a bear market rally, and that tends to happen. The general trend for the stock market is still down. It is still down. So, we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, I'm not trying to give you stock advice, but those are things, the trend is your friend. And if things are slowing and we have a growth scare, that's different than a full-blown recession. So we may have slowing growth. We may not have growth as good as last year or as last month, but that doesn't mean we're in a full-blown recession. So let's just keep an eye on it. We'll be in a recession at some point. I don't know if it's this year, next year, 2 years, who knows? But at the end of the day, people still want to buy a house, and that's what we do. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. And again, to bookend this whole thing, this weekend was about those that gave the ultimate sacrifice for us to have the freedoms to do what we do. And so let's cherish those who gave their all, and let's not take for granted what happened before we came to this moment in our lives. Have a great week. Cheers.
You've been listening to KP Talks Dollars and Cents, a top-rated show for those who want to learn about the economy and mortgage environment. Tune in each week for more episodes, and please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Kevin Perenio does not render or offer to render personalized investment or tax advice through KP Talks Dollars and Cents. The information provided is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial, tax, investment, or legal advice. For more info, follow KP Talks Dollars and Cents on all of our social channels.